Hello and welcome back to another episode of TerraTech with your host, Selenvo the Silver Dragon. And today we begin a project that I've been basing the entire series around. We now begin it today. So, given the scale of my idea, we need to fit a nice little spot for it to start in. I don't really want to set it up directly here, but at the same time maybe I do. But if I do, I'm going to have to move a lot of stuff because it'll be in the way. So, I do want it on the salt flats, though, if nothing else, because the salt flats helps me to have a nice flat terrain to work with. Yeah, I don't see anything else that really quite does what I want here outside of that. Well, I could just go for flat terrain in general. Flatter. As flat as I can get it. Actually, this area... Yeah, actually the area that I set up on top of is about perfect. It is as flat as I can get it. From what it looks like. Yeah, ish, for the most part. I kind of miss the fact that the salt flats used to be a little bit more flatter in earlier versions of the game. Now they're kind of hilly now because they have a little bit more bumps to them, a little bit more rough terrain. But I guess that's fine. Anyway, I think I'm going to do some reconfiguring of the area here. Move the resources from my little resource device here that I set up. I think I'm going to... Yeah, I think I'm going to tear it down. Well, maybe not yet. We'll see. What I need to do... What I'm going to do first... I think what I'm going to do first is set up the core for the base, which is going to be centered right here. This is going to be where the center of the base is going to be located. So I'm going to just set up like a central pillar structure of some sort. What should I use for that? Given that this is going to be a massive project and take a considerable amount of time, if nothing else, I'm probably going to be speed building it for the most part. But we shall see what comes of it. I'm not going to do it all in one episode because, well, it's going to take a long time. Even with, like, cutting it down and all that, so wow, I have all the way up to 4 blocks. That's pretty good. Did I have 5 blocks yet? No, I don't. Wish I did, but I don't have those yet. Okay, I think I'll just start with the where is it? I know you hear fixed anchor. I want to have fixed anchor for the center, because I can build upwards off the top of it. Yeah, there we go. Fixed anchor. And this will decide the exact center of the base. And the reason why I want to center it right on top of these crystals is because, well, it kind of looks like a... these kind of make for a nifty power source kind of image kind of thing going on, as it were. So I'm basing it off of that kind of idea. Maybe slightly turn it this way. Yeah, now it goes those ways. And those ways. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Now first, we're going to need a bunch of 4 blocks. Because I need to make a connecting point that goes out to the farthest edges that I can build. Because it's literally going to fill out as much space as I can put into a single area. It's going to be one giant structure. One absolutely titanically huge structure of absurd size. Move this over here so it's a little bit easier. I'm gonna just start off by like marking out this little spot here. Actually, I'm gonna use some. I'm gonna be using more of these as I continue to expand outwards, just so I have like pillars for it to be standing on all throughout the design. Because that'll look nice, I think. Yeah, fixed anchor. Get a bunch of these. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need. And I also need to make sure I do it equally on both sides, because if I reach the limit on one side, it'll prevent me from going any further on the other side. So the plan is to try and make it even on both sides as far as I can get it out there. Also, there might be some issues because the hill there is actually kind of high. In fact, it's too high. I may not actually be able to do it right where I put it. Interesting dilemma that might impress upon the situation. This is a slight disadvantage when it comes to building this, because the only way to maybe set this up without having this kind of issue arising would be to build it in, like, say, the vehicle designer. But that in part would make this kind of pointless. So I have to build it here, as annoying as that may be. Yeah, this also raises other issues. How high? Okay, that area does raise up. So maybe what I should do is actually try putting it up here, so it is more raised to begin with, and then extend it out this way to meet this current setting where it is. That might help. Make sure it's lined up but not attached. Yeah, that looks okay. Now let's try and do this. Looking okay so far. I'm kind of wondering if these disconnected. Or did it? Maybe this is in the way. Nope, it just disconnected from the ground. It's like, nope, I cannot connect to the ground here. Dang it. Okay, maybe I can connect this below it, and then maybe it'll... It probably will still have issues. I might have to design this in a sloping fashion, but that wouldn't really look right either. As you can see, it's still having the connection issue there. Yeah, this is the problem with a non-flat terrain. I was kind of hoping the salt flats would be flat enough, but it's just not working quite right. Hmm. Let's take a look around a little bit further, see if there is any other areas that are a little bit flatter than this, because if I can get a decently flat area... Okay, this one's on a slope. I think. Somewhat of a slope over here. I mean, if I can't use the area I wanted to use, that's alright. It'd just be better to... it'd be nice, it would look nice, but it's not required. What is required is a flat area. I realize this poor little vehicle does not have much charge left. Hmm. Quickly recharge for a second, and then I'm going to go check again. Because I need to have a good area to build on. If it's not flat enough, this structure will be a huge pain to actually put into the world proper. Uneven terrain is the problem here. And that's kind of why I wanted to build in assault flats in the first place. And the salt flats aren't proving to be flat enough on their own. Great. I guess this area isn't so bad. Right around the center here isn't too bad. And I have to try. I need something to work, because otherwise I can't build this project properly. Or at least I can't mount it. Well, I guess I could just leave it partially suspended, but that really bugs me. Actually, you know, thinking about it, what I can do is just do something a little bit more alternative to in the design. It's not going to look the best, especially when it spawns in on other worlds or anything like that, if people do that kind of thing when I save it, but it'll at least fit here. And that is all I really can do to make it as good as I can, so we'll get started on that. Let's see here. What I'm going to do, take this off. Then we want blocks. We're going to use like a 2 block here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do this. Actually, I need a 1 block there because it's actually high enough to still complain slightly with its positioning and not show properly. There we go. And this, actually I can probably do another 1 block there. Yep. And then again. And then this one can be a 2 block. Or, no, it still can't. Okay. I was expecting I'm needing 2 blocks there. Okay, so that's so far a decent length. I need some more 4 blocks, so let's add those. And yes, I am currently recording, as in not speeding up at the moment, because I want to show like the kind of initial scale and talk about it that I'm going for here. And like also partially show off the fact that, yeah, this thing is going to be pretty big. So there's one in that direction. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's so far pretty good. Okay, another there. Block there. Seems to be about the same height around this area. Alright. You know, alternatively, what I can do is actually just build not centered on this, even though I kind of want it to be centered on it because I was thinking like power core in the center. But maybe instead we could just set up the power core on a side or a corner or something. That's possible. I'll consider it. If I continue to have issues with stuff clipping into the world, because I don't really want to have to deal with world clipping issues constantly while building this. Okay, need more 4 blocks. 4 block. Where are you? There you are. Now, if you've watched my my battleship construction video, you'll know that there is a very significant length available. I'm thinking it's about like 64 blocks long, though I'm not entirely certain. But there is a limit to the maximum length as a result of that kind of thing. I think I might have went a little bit too far on this side. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm missing one. Okay. That is like almost buried under the ground. And I don't think it's quite long enough yet. So I'm going to have to raise it up even higher. That's annoying. So we'll start detaching these one at a time. Do something like this, I think. Actually, that should be pretty much fine from that point. From that point on. So I should be able to take this and expand it out properly without running into issues from here on out. This should be high enough, basically. And you are too high up, so I need to put the proper attachment on, which means I need more 1 blocks. And of course they're not spawning in because, you know, game doesn't like spawning in stuff too far, too close to things. Also, as the big structure gets bigger, it's going to start conflicting with placement values there as well, which is going to get annoying. I need a flat plane to build on for this, because it's going to be a massive, massive structure. Quite crazy huge. Okay, that needs to be longer now, so I need to actually take a 2-length block. for these. Yep. Okay. Okay. This also kind of affects the height, overall height of the structure as a result as well, because the overall structure can only be so high up in the air, and it can only be so long and so wide. I'm thinking that the limit is 64, but I may be wrong, though it seems like a logical excuse me, a logical number, because, well, that's a typical computer value. So it's like 8 times 8 times something or other, because bytes and stuff. Come on. Seriously? Oh, come on, like, there's nothing there. It's like a half a mile away from you. It annoys me a bit when these things don't want to quite work right. I guess an alternative to building this is I could build it slanted, but that would kind of annoy me. Not sure I can actually make it work properly in a slant, because it's a little bit on the hard. Wow. Okay. You stubborn little pain in the butt. Spawn in my 4 blocks. Finally. Actually, I didn't need those, though. I needed the 2 blocks. More 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks. Okay, there we go. That's what we needed. Now we can attach this like so. Now, how many do we have? We have the center block here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On this side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means we need at least one more on this side before we can continue expanding normally. Or basically extending in both directions. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and now we need some more fixed anchors. Also, once I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and count out like how many blocks this actually is. See, now it's having issues. It won't go full length anymore. So we're near the limit. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th is the end. Okay, so counting all of these, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 4. I'm going to go ahead and just do this in the calculator. 12 times 4. That's 48. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep. 48 plus 16 is 64. So yeah, the limit on the structure's total size is 64 blocks long, 64 blocks wide, and 64 blocks tall. So that is what we're going to be working with as our limited number value. Well, that's going to annoy me a little bit because it's 2 blocks on this side, 1 block on that side. So I guess I'll just take that one off. And I may as well define the lengths to the right and the left as well while I'm at it, just so it'll help future placement. So if I have any... It basically, by laying out the perimeter of the structure to begin with, I know what I can build in, because it won't let me build beyond it so much. That's the advantage of pre-building the lengths and widths of this structure ahead of time. Can I place it there? No, it needs to be lowered. Okay. Then this should help. Yeah, there we go. And another one. Of course, other things are going to get in the way, which means I have to tear them down, but it's alright. That's what I expected to do when I set them up in the first place. So I'm going to go ahead and continue from here in speed mode, because may as well. Huh. These don't actually do much, they're just sitting there. Alright then. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this in speed building mode, and then we can I can give you an update on the progress once we've made a considerable amount. So let's get started. Okay, so that's the kind of height we're going to be looking at for this structure that we're going to build. Just for an example, some of the part of the structure is going to be about that high, if not multiple parts. And it's going to be about that long and about that wide. Admittedly, it feels a lot higher than it is length and width, though it is basically the same length and width as it is height, even though it doesn't look that way. I guess mostly it's because we're looking at like halves on each side of it. That's probably why it looks smaller in width and length than it does in height. The height offset is pretty crazy. I can't even put stuff up on top of it that easily. Even though I technically can put one block extra up there. I decided to restrict myself to about 63 by 63 by 63 as my settings for this. Because it's pretty nuts already. And that is all I need to worry about. Okay, the next step, now that we've finally arranged the structural max limits, for the most part, our next goal will be to set up the power core. That's going to be filling up the center of the base. And how are we going to set up the power core? Well, we're going to use a bunch of solar generators, of course. Because the game is kind of silly in how solar generators work. I'm going to set them up... Oh, I can't actually face them downwards, because apparently the limitations of how far we can go down are actually notable. It can go 3 points down? Really? Okay, then I guess the generator's just giving me trouble because I should be able to place it straight down from here. Why isn't it? No. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I can place it straight down. The reason why I want to place it straight down, if I use the F key, it'll go a little bit faster. Or maybe not. Really? Is it that hard to get it straight down? I don't understand. I would use something a little bit more generator-esque if I could, but unfortunately all I've got is solar power. That's the only thing that is really technically infinite in this game, as long as there's like daytime. So I figure I could use like these solar generators and then have them all stacked upside down here. Which makes it kind of look like there's like some kind of weird drilling structure descending into the earth. I mean, doesn't that kind of look a little from like from one view? From this side, it kind of looks like some kind of weird drilling structure of some sort or another. I think it does. Looks neat, if nothing else. This one doesn't look right, though. It's facing in a way that's bugging me. This is annoying how many times I have to hit G just to get it to face in the correct direction. And even then, it's still off. Which bugs me further. Ay. But yeah, I just wanted to pause and let you know this is what I'm going to be doing for the next little bit while I work on this. I'm going to be filling in this area with solar generators. And I think I'm going to make it either... I'm thinking of making it fill in about a 4x4 space on all sides. I think that should be good. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Anyway, I'm going to get started on that, and here we continue. By the way, if you're wondering, that was intentional. I wanted to get rid of that extra vehicle. Though I may have to go over it with something else to clean it up a little bit better, because it wasn't quite destroyed as I had hoped. So, yeah. I may also get rid of this vehicle that I'm using right now as well. Just because, it's had its time, and I'm thinking I'd like to try and clean up some of my extra vehicles that I have around. Though if I'm going to do something like that, I guess I probably should also build something that helps me to clean stuff up. I've gotten the project started, but I'm also kind of wondering how I want to go about assembling it exactly. And in some cases, I'm already suffering from some form of lag, and I'm not entirely certain how that works, but it seems to be a lag when placing blocks, and it's having an effect every time I try to place something on the structure. It takes a long time to load the nodule, the nodes that you can place stuff on. And that's kind of a problem, because that means I have to wait for a little while before I can actually place anything. So, yeah, that's kind of obnoxious. So, yeah. Little problems that I have to work around to build the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I have at least gotten started on the project. Having the giant tower there, even if it's just like a single pillar of blocks, is actually kind of nice to see. That I'm finally getting started. I also just want to destroy these guys because they're just sitting over here thinking they own my local vicinity, my base. I keep showing them, no you do not. You own nothing. Yeah. Back on track. After I kill this guy. That reminds me, like, what do I have exactly for this stuff in my tech tree exactly? As far as Geocorp goes, like, I don't have 2 of the cabs. Oh, that's all I don't have in the Geocorp tree is the 2 cabs. Venture Tech, I recall finishing some time ago, so yeah, I have all of that. I do, and Special is always unlocked. Experimental, on the other hand, we do have a few things to unlock still. And then, of course, there's the GSO stuff, which I know I don't have unlocked, so not fully unlocked anyway. I was just looking at that stuff briefly, because reasons. Huh? Why are you stuck? Oh. Get back on your normal orientation. You silly thing. Okay. Surprisingly, these aren't as noisy as they used to be. I think they might have tuned that a bit. You have to get pretty close to hear them. Or maybe that's just because I adjusted the sound. Is that why? That might be it. Yeah, that might be it, actually. Yeah, that's what I expected. Though honestly, I don't really need the sound that high. How about half? Actually, that didn't seem to change it much. Huh. Interesting. About quarter the intensity seems pretty good. Yeah, alright. Okay. Alright, back to work, I guess. Just in case you're wondering, I decided to build a few CGCA heavy turrets around the area in an effort to curb back some of the enemy spawns that keep ending up in my local vicinity. They slightly bug me, so this is my effort to curb them back by putting structures in the area that will shoot them down if they come close. So, like right over here, I'm going to put another one. I mean, I have so much cash on hand anyway, may as well use some of it. And it helps to secure the area from annoyances that would otherwise perhaps bug me if I'm fiddling around in my local area. There we go. Now our local vicinity should be well protected against intruders, or at least should hopefully put in some preventative action against spawns in the future. So I'm not sure how good that might be for the stability of the game to have that many sentries around the area. Hopefully it's not so bad, and that once I clear out all the debris from slain enemies, it should help out. But yeah, I think we've done enough for this episode to get started. Also, in part, I think I might be not super enthusiastic about continuing at this exact moment, so I want to pick up again sooner than later. So I'm going to stop now, and we'll see whether in the next episode if I feel a lot more up to working on this and getting this project underway. But we will be continuing next time. I'll be recording. Salenvo out.